If you love RPGs, then the Nintendo DS has more games than time you have to play them.
It's been 30 years, but I can finally open this!
And I wanted to mention games that you typically might not have heard of, because we've all heard of Zelda and all that fun stuff. We don't need another top 10 that includes a bunch more Pokemon games. But what I will show you is Spectrobes on the DS. Made by Disney. Because they're like, you know what? Those Pokemons are doing good. We want some of that. The funny thing is, they did a really good job. This is actually a really good game. Despite the young aesthetics and colors and everything, and probably bright, happy storylines. Don't expect anything like Shin Megami in here. You believe this comes with cards? No. There is a collector's edition of this. That is quite pricey, and it comes with a bunch of cards. So, this manual is fantastic. It's bright, colorful. It's got pretty pictures everywhere. You gotta give it to them. Their evolution lines are pretty cool. Skipping some pages here. Alright. Just tells you the controls. Makes fantastic use of the Nintendo DS screen. So you're going to be battling, you're going to be collecting things. You're going to be talking to people. You're going to be, grinding. Probably a lot. Because it's an RPG. Yeah, they love to make us do that. How big is this manual? Very big manual. I was expecting another language soon, but it keeps going. Yeah, here it talks about the card inputs. So, that's pretty cool. Try to get my hands on it, but it's hard. So you used to have matchmaking. It's pretty cool. That's a beefy manual. But very colorful, lots of pictures. It's a fantastic game. Not even pricey whatsoever. I'm pretty sure you could pick this up for $10, $15. Did you like that game? Good, because there's a sequel. Spectrobes Beyond the Portals. More of the same fun stuff. Excavations. So, kind of like Fossil Fighters. The DS like to use this mechanic a lot with games. They're like, well, we can have people dig up fossils. Speaking of the cards, yeah, we can see what the cards actually look like. Because you would put this on your DS screen and then touch the points here. So that's a cool looking monster. Let's look at this one. Very cool. Pretty flower. And then this character. Cool. And here's the manual. They just threw a bunch of papers at you. Disney Gamer. Here's a health guide, Wi-Fi connection. Oh, here's some stickers. I'm a Disney Gamer. I'm going to wear this so proudly. And here is a thing about Wi-Fi stuff and postage. Oh, they really souped you up. It's like getting junk mail, but better. Let's see if this manual is just as colorful. Yes, it is. Lots more characters. Battles. I personally didn't get to this one. But I'm assuming they hopefully, expanded on some things, as most sequels tend to do, or just went to complete shit. I will find out. But when you have monsters like that, you know, how can you go wrong? Counter battles. Goes over the excavation stuff. You have an incubator. Like how each kind of game, monster catching type game. Ooh, badges. What is this? Collecting badges is the new fad in the Nanario system, so don't miss out. You can purchase badges from Wakaba. From Wakaba, the young girl that runs the bad shop on Colden. Don't ask me to read out loud. Yeah, okay, so you can get badges. Cool. Then you're looking at about the same price, $10, $15 for a copy of this game. Here's one of my favorite games of all time on the Nintendo DS. I played the crap out of this. And there's only, I believe, one thing I still have to do, and that's turn 100 enemies into carrots. It's not as easy as you think. This is a huge game, and you could spend a ton of time in this. Open it up. I wish Dragon Ball had more RPGs like this. Fantastic fighting games, but when Dragon Ball gets into the RPG field, then it shines. So you could have Piccolo, Gohan, Yamcha, Krillin, Goku, all these characters on your team. Explore the map, use their powers, fight enemies, use combos together. And over here we have the other language. Yes. And that's also a good game. Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. But this game is phenomenal. It's going to cost you a little bit for a complete in-box copy. Around $80 to $100 it can go for. But to me, I love this game. So, it's a blast. Double points. Naruto, Path of the Ninja, 1 and 2. These are great games. If you like Dragon Ball, well, here's the Naruto version of it. It's pretty much the same thing. But Naruto. Let's take a look at the manual. So every one of my games are complete in-box, I believe, except for my Coraline game. That's about the only one I don't have complete. And it breaks my heart. But this, not much of a manual here. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, just quick. Quick info. Throw the game in. Figure it out. Ninja Academy. Let's see if Naruto Path of the Ninja 2 has more of a manual. Because it's more of the same stuff. I'm not exactly sure what this game's going for now. Imagine around the 30-ish range for each. A little bit better with the manual than this one. Had some extra images there. But these are solid games. I'm more of a Dragon Ball fan, so my heart is there, but these are just as good. But I can't speak with the same love about it, because I'm not the biggest Naruto fan, but those are fantastic games. And up next, Lunar Nights from Konami. Take that cover in for a second. It's beautiful. Look at that. Surprised, right? So this is a very interesting, unique, fun game. And Konami did a fantastic job with it. Those are your two characters. Unfortunately, RPG games on the DS are more of the expensive ones. They are the most expensive ones. So the manual is actually very fitting with the aesthetic of the game. We got the background images here. They have some nice images up here in the corner. The layout is very nice. It's eye appealing. You know, there's not too much going on. And the gray tone is nice. They still add in lots of character info here. Going over your attacks, probably item pickups, all that stuff. Hefty manual. All in one language. Let's take a look at this back cover. That's fantastic. And if you played Scourge Hive, then I would say it's kind of similar. Up next, Golden Sun, Dark Dawn. I love these covers. Fantastic artwork. And the best thing is, I love it when the DS does stuff like this. Utilizes both screens. Dragon Ball Origins, with its cutscenes and everything. That game is amazing. I didn't include it in this because, well, I guess you could classify it as that one as an RPG, but there's so many. This could be like an hour-long video. Look at that. Different artwork on the manual. That's beautiful. What a nice manual. Look at all that color. Solve some puzzles. Battle enemies. Your turn-based battling system. Goes over things to do in the world. Your typical shops and items and RPG stuff. They're all essentially the same, just with a different coding. Fighting enemies. Destroy everything you see. It's on map here. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Wow. So there is lots to do in this game. That's the thing. They require lots of time. All these games require lots and lots of time. Glory of Heracles. This is a phenomenal game. And it's relatively fair in price. $30, $40-ish, something around there. This is such a great game. The art, the battles, the characters, the dialogue is actually hilarious. I remember taking a couple pictures from a few of the characters actually saying something because I thought it was really funny. And you actually use the touchscreen as well to kind of unleash your powers and stuff like that. Wasn't really a long game. Look at that. Different artwork on the manuals. I love that. That's phenomenal artwork. The game didn't take me all that long, probably around 30-ish hours. I find if an RPG is around 30-ish, 40 hours, that's fair enough. If you want to go exploring more and stuff and add 20 more hours, then great, but it's hard when certain games are 60, 70 hours each. Like Hogwarts Legacy. Because I'm doing everything. And it was this game is phenomenal. You're not really, there's no side quest sort of things. You got your shops, your items, but you're generally going to just be sticking with the story, going to each location, progressing, battling, meeting the other characters, until you fight the big boss right at the end. And here's the other language. So, nice little manual. From my recommendations is From the Abyss. It's a great game. Now, there is some DSi download titles, or some few games that you could have gotten from the eShop that are different to this. And this game is rather basic, but it's a great little game. Get this manual out of there. And let's go over this manual. Buying and selling screen. There's a trend here. Combos. Soul capture. Status screen. Look at all this status stuff. So appealing. This is a great little game. I played the eShop games, and those were fun. And then I finally got my hands on this one. This one is going to cost you a little bit. It's relatively pricey. You're looking at probably upwards of $80+ for this game right here. But this one, for a complete inbox copy of Children of Mana, is not going to cost you so much, probably around $40-ish, $50. But this is another basic, simple RPG. Nothing too crazy, just like From the Abyss. But it is a great little game. Very colorful manual. Just gonna go over, of course, items, battling, the menu, going to dungeons. Oops, I skipped a bunch of info. Battling system. Using your weapons, gimmicks, little mushroom people. Multiplayer mode. Look at that. Look at the fun you could have with all your friends. Everybody get a DS and stand in a circle. And here the other language, yep. And here we have Away, Shuffle Dungeon. Now this is much like an N64 game, but on the DS. And I love this game. It is so unique. It's something that is, to me, you can only really do this on the DS because of the way it utilizes all the DS functions, especially with the dual screen. And it's a great game. It's difficult. I will give it that. I put the DS down a few times, if I'm being honest. But I did beat the game. And it did take some time. It's a hefty little game. There's a lot to collect and kind of upgrade your character, help out the other characters. It doesn't necessarily hold your hand. That's a great thing with these kind of older games. On the DS, there's no arrow pointing you in the direction to go. The boss battles kind of turn 3D. So when you're in the dungeons, it's kind of like an overtop view as you're moving about. But then when you get to the bosses in the overworld, it's 3D. Looks like an N64 game. And you save at these little points, so you can find that after you actually beat the boss. And then these are the characters that you meet. It is an interesting story. When I started playing, I was wondering where they're going to take it, and they went there. They went up, and you know, it's interesting. And then these are little characters that kind of help you out in the game. Highly recommend this game. It is not too expensive. It should be about $30-ish. Definitely worth the price. If I recommend you getting any game on this list, and you know you're working within budgets and everything, look at this one. You won't be disappointed. You're going to be frustrated, but not disappointed. Honorable mentions: Blue Dragon Plus. You wouldn't think that a game on the Xbox 360 is going to have 2 sequels on the Nintendo DS, but you know what? It's not the first time they did that. Look at Okami. So these are great little games. Expensive little games. This one is around 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever it's going for around that price area. Phenomenal little game. It's more, what does it play like? Kind of more like strategy type game. Not so much your hack and slash character type thing. But this one is an action RPG and will cost you your kidney. It's very expensive. It's one of those pricey DS games. And it's phenomenal. It's so beautiful. Fantastic little games. So if you play Blue Dragon on the Xbox, and if you have not, I suggest you do, because it's backwards compatible, and you can find it on sale. Generally for about $5, $6. Way cheaper than these two. And you're probably going to get more out of it, but those are 2 phenomenal games. And last but not least, we have Legacy of Ys, books 1 and 2. Never been opened. In the Ys games, we all know they're phenomenal. Ys remastered, recreated 3D graphics, remixed musical score, and new enemies and equipment. Classic action RPG game. Includes a music CD. This is also one of those very pricey DS games that's gonna cost you another body part. Now, I know that was a lot of recommendations, but I could have another pile, so there's gonna be a part 2 to this video pretty soon. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you liked, what would you pick up, what have you played before? I'll see you in the next video. Dungeon Shuffle.